Every single problem you face today has a simple cause, and that is, you care way too much. Not about the right things, but about what everyone else thinks of you. And if you're nodding your head right now, understand that what follows may fundamentally shift how you see yourself and your relationships. Now, this is how caring too much shows up in your life, and as a specific kind of exhaustion that no amount of rest can remedy it. You curate your social media posts obsessively, wondering if people will judge your choices. You change your outfit 3 times before leaving the house because you're imagining what others might say. You pursue a career path that impresses people or families at parties rather than one that actually fulfills you. You are constantly editing your own life to make sure it remains acceptable to an audience that isn't even paying attention. This is what it looks like when you've made other people's opinions more important than your own truth. Real quick, if you love psychology, values like this, make sure you subscribe and join the newsletter community in the description. I share a lot of values you don't want to miss. Now back to the real talk. Here's what most of you don't realize. If you continue down this path, you won't just lose years, you'll lose yourself entirely. 10 years from now, you'll look in the mirror and won't recognize the person staring back. You'll have built a successful performance of a life while your authentic self suffocated quietly beneath the applause. The resentment doesn't fade with time. It compounds like interest on a debt you never agreed to pay. If you recognize this deep, soulful drain within yourself, you aren't simply nice. You are experiencing what psychologists identify as fawning, a survival response where pleasing others becomes your strategy for safety. And I'm telling you this for free. The day you quit pleasing others, you will start feeling peace within. Today, let's dismantle the cage you built for yourself. Consider why you developed this pattern. If you grew up in an environment where emotions were unpredictable, being agreeable became your shield. You learned to trade your authenticity for safety, and that exchange rewired how you relate to every person you meet. You became what researchers call a social chameleon, blending in so seamlessly that you forgot what color you actually are. Now imagine this. You're sitting at dinner with your family. Your sister makes a comment that dismisses something you deeply care about. Everyone agrees and supports her. You feel your face getting hot, your throat tightening with the response you want to give. But instead you smile. You even add a self-deprecating thought to keep the mood light. Later that night, alone in your car, you replay that moment over and over, rehearsing what you should have said. That gap between who you are and who you pretend to be, that's where your energy dies. This leads us to an uncomfortable realization about how this pattern actually functions. When you live perpetually for others, you're operating from what psychologists call a covert contract. The internal logic works like this. I was there for you, so you should be there for me. But when they don't reciprocate, resentment floods in. Now this doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human. You're not consciously manipulating anyone. You're simply caught in a pattern where your kindness comes with invisible strings attached, strings you didn't even know you were tying. The cure for this condition is what Alfred Adler called the courage to be disliked. This represents one of the most liberating concepts you will ever encounter. Here's the truth that will set you free. Your worth is not determined by how many people approve of you. Let me restate this. Being disliked is not evidence of failure. It's evidence that you stood for something authentic. It signals you possess boundaries. And when you're old enough to realize most people aren't worth your time, being disliked can be a blessing. So how do you actually break this pattern? You begin with what I call disappointment exposure therapy. You must practice disappointing people in small, manageable ways. Say no to the dinner invitation you don't want to accept. Wear the outfit that feels like you. Speak your opinion even when the room falls silent. The first time you attempt this, your nervous system will respond dramatically. Your heart will race. Guilt will flood through you. But then, something remarkable occurs. The world continues. The people who valued you only for your compliance will distance themselves, and you must allow them to leave. They were never genuine friends. They were consumers of your energy. The people who remain, those are the ones who love you, not the performance. Here's the insight that changes everything. Living for others drains you, but living for yourself fills you up. And that's when you actually have something genuine to give. Research on compassion fatigue confirms this. When you sacrifice yourself repeatedly, you don't become more loving, you become resentful and depleted. Imagine waking up tomorrow and the heaviness is gone. You speak your truth at the family dinner. someone disapproves, and instead of that familiar panic, you feel nothing, just clarity. You're no longer performing. You're no longer calculating. You're simply present, authentic, free. The people around you might be surprised at first, but the ones who matter adjust. And you finally recognize yourself again. You are not required to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. Your peace is not negotiable. Your authenticity is not subject to approval. The moment you accept that some people will inevitably dislike you and choose to live according to your own values anyway, you access a freedom that no amount of external validation could ever provide. Before you go, if you love psychology values like this, make sure you subscribe and join the newsletter community in the description. There's real, practical psychology coming your way, and you don't want to miss it.